Creative Collection 88 video tutorial on disc scrubbies. Today we'll be making this pattern. I also make some that come with pom-poms on them, and I make kid sizes. My little daughter to help me out on dishes because who doesn't love that? I do put handles on my scrubbies so that way they stay on your hand while you're scrubbing dishes. I love giving these away as Christmas gifts and wedding gifts. Who doesn't need a scrubby? Thank you and stay tuned. I'm using today a size 11.5 hook, also known as P, and I'm going to use two colors of tulle. I go to Michael's and I buy the 6-inch wide by 20 yards. So let's get to it. We're going to start with about 8 inches and we're going to start our slip knot. Okay. So from the slip knot, we still got that big long tail, remember that? That's going to come in handy later on. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into your first chain. Okay, then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to go into the middle of the loop that we just created. And we're going to perform a single crochet. Make sure that with this tail that you kind of just work it into your work as you go. So tuck it around the edge and you're going to be crocheting over it. So right now we are at the chain 2, first double crochet, so that's 1, 2, we're going to do a total of 10, and then I'm going to come back around and explain the rest. Alright, so now that we're back, we have our 10 single crochets within the center of that. We're going to slip stitch into our first stitch to complete the circle. Okay, and then we have these stragglers from up here. We're going to pull them so that this hole is closed. Okay, now that it's closed up, this is your choice. You can either tie it off here or you can use my technique, try it out. I snip it so that there's a little bit of a tail. And I kind of fold my work so that way it's not all around it. And I melt the edges. After I melt it, I kind of flatten it down so that way it's not all round and bubbly up. And I kind of tuck it underneath that first crochet. And you can't even tell. And that holds the best for me. Usually when I tie knots, they kind of figure their way undone and stuff. This hasn't frayed on me once. Okay, second row, we're going to start with 2 chain. So chain 2. And then we're going to be working half double crochets the whole second row. So you got your chain 2. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go back into, well, we're going to go into the next stitch. So we're going to go right into that next stitch. And we're going to pull through so that you have a total of 3 on your hook. You go yarn over, you're going to pull through all 3 of those. So what we got right now is we got our chain 2, we got our half double crochet, we're going to do another half double crochet in that exact same stitch that we just did one in. So yarn over, do a half double crochet in that exact same stitch. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and then we're going to do 1 in the next stitch. Yarn over, go through, pull through all 3. So that's going to be our pattern. We're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, and I'll meet you back around when we're ready for that. All right, so now that we're back and we've done all those, we're going to slip stitch into our first chain 2 for that row. Okay, once that you've completed that, now it's time to put our handle on. You can opt out of this if you want to. All you need to do is tie off. If you'd like to put the handle on, stay tuned. We're going to wrap around the back, the front, the back, the front, the back, the front. So that way that you just went around it 3 times. I then cut it right at that little section. And that's going to be enough for our handle. So now I pull all the way through. And I pull that kind of tight. Okay, we have the front of our work here because the tool will come out the front. We're going to go around to the back. You see this nice little hole right there? We're going to pull our tool through that. Okay. So now that we've done that, you're going to go straight across, this kind of lay it over so that you go straight across. And then you're going to poke your hook right through the back of it. So you're coming from underneath. And you're going to pull the tool down through. Okay. Then you're going to move to the right. And you're going to come through the front of the scrubbie. And you're going to pull through. You're going to cross over this one. So right now you're at the bottom of it, you're going to cross over to the top of it. And with your hook, you're going to pull through from the back. Okay. And then now that you're there, we're going to come through this one. You're going to come through the front. And you're going to bring that tool across. Okay. And then you're going to come back to your very first one that goes straight across, that's underneath. And you're going to come through that from the bottom. Alright, and once you are there, kind of gives you a nice crisscross pattern that holds your hand in pretty good. We are going to loop this over and tuck it down through. So I pull my hook from the back and yarn over so I can pull it down through. That way this kind of twists over there for an extra anchor. And then at the back, there's a little spot back here. I come down through the top underneath my handle. I move it aside. I poke that down through. I grab the tool and I pull it up through. At this point, I do 2 knots. Do them as tight down to the base as you can go. Okay, now that we got the 2 knots, I'm going to trim so that there's a little bit of a tail, just a little one. I'm going to fold my work away and I'm going to melt it. You don't want to put the flame directly on it. You kind of want to use the blue part. If you use the top of the flame, it's going to turn it black. If you keep with the blue side, it will just melt it down and keep it the same color. I squish it in with the knots so that way it will not pull back through the knots. And then there's a little section that you can tuck it right underneath so that it disappears. Can't even see that it's there. Okay, then stretch it back out and it is ready to go. Thanks again for watching my video tutorial on scrubbies made out of tulle. I hope you enjoy. Let me know your feedback. Also, please subscribe and like my video and tell me your thoughts. Thank you.